Check that switch, I might have left it off. On that mic.
Okay, so the pledge today will be led by John Robert and the invocation by Fred.
Whoop, sorry.
So all rise and follow the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we bow our heads this afternoon and thank you for the many blessings that we enjoy. We're grateful for the opportunity we have of gathering together to see this process go forth. It's been set by our Constitution and by our founders. We are grateful for this country in which we live, for the freedoms that we enjoy, that we have the freedom of speech and the opportunity to vote on those who represent us. We ask that you bless us with thy Spirit during this hour, that we may be able to be guided by thee. Bless those who are participating, that they'll say and do those things that are in their hearts, and that they want to communicate to us. And bless all of us as candidates and as voters, that we will focus on the issues and refrain from making any personal attacks on these candidates. Again, we thank you for our blessings and ask for thy guidance. We'll be able to protect the freedoms that we enjoy in this land, we pray. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Saurey. Now we are going to turn time over to Hiram Erickson. He will be today's moderator and will introduce the candidates.
Hi, my name is Hiram Erickson. I'm the chairman of the Chamber's Legislative Committee, and on that basis I was asked to moderate today. Can you guys hear out there? Is the feedback worse up here than it is up there? Okay. First of all, on behalf of the Chamber, we want to thank everyone that has decided to give of their time and their energy to run for public office. We sincerely appreciate it. We know that it is a serious commitment.
Mike, are you typing?
Okay, back. It's a serious commitment of time and energy, and we appreciate the service that you are performing for the county and for the county residents. So on behalf of the chamber, thank you for what you're doing. Today we have candidates for 2 offices. Kimber Ricks and Charles Horikami are running for county commissioner. We have Sue Bagley, Sean Boice, Brent Saurey, and Sid Summers, who are running for county assessor. Mr. Summers is not here today, but he's provided a statement that will read when it's his turn to give an opening statement. The process that we're going to do today is we're going to give each of the candidates 3 minutes to make an opening statement, explain who they are while they're running, and then we'll get into a question and answer. And our plan is for the responses to the questions to take about 1 minute. And we will have a timekeeper just to keep us honest. If you go short, there's no penalty. There's not really a penalty for going long either. You just get a card waved at you. Let's go ahead and start with from the end of the table with Charles. Can we do a quick mic check and make sure that those are working? Yours are working. If you can just pass them along, should have 2 mics per person. What he said.
There's 3 up there.
We good to start?
Go ahead.
All right, my name is Charles Horikami. I'm a student at BYU, Idaho.
Hold that close. Get that microphone close.
All right, is it better?
Yeah.
I don't want to be too loud. My name is Charles Horikami. I'm a student at BYU, Idaho, studying social studies, education, focusing on history. I have this semester and 1 more this fall. And then I'll be doing student teaching, so I'm almost done. I'll be done, ready and prepared to be county commissioner. I'm from the Boice area, but I've been living here for the past 5 years. I definitely consider Rexburg my home, and I'd like to end up teaching here. I'm running for county commissioner because I think I can make a difference. I think I can make a change. Instead of following tradition and keeping with what big government likes to do, I like to minimize the government in our county, make it a little bit more accessible to people, make us that way at any given time. You know what's going on in your government, and we don't need to come to you, or you don't need to come to us because we've already come to you. We just like it to be a little bit more open, a little bit more manageable, and I think we can also cut on the budget a bit. And we'll save some money, which can be used to put a reserve aside. That way, when problems do come up, like bridges that need repair or roads that are in dire need of repair, that we can do that without having to go to the federal government for extra money. I don't really have anything else to say. I'm really grateful for the opportunity as Rexburg Chamber of Commerce to put this on for us. I'm grateful for all of you coming out to support local politics. I know it's not the most exciting of endeavors, but you being here shows that you care. And I think that's what our government needs, is for more people to care.
Thank you, Charles. And thanks to the Chamber and to all of you for being here. Madison County is a healthy, happy place with a great future. We have challenges, absolutely, but they're being met. There's so much to be positive about. We're one of America's fastest growing counties. BYU, Idaho, of course, is one of the big reasons for that. We have Rexburg and Sugar City that are vibrant and thriving. Madison County consists of an excellent family of county employees, fine elected officials, outstanding emergency services department in partnership with the city and the fire district, great law enforcement. These folks are all serving with integrity and vision. We operate by the I'd like to mention a couple of things. We just completed a centennial celebration thanks to a citizens committee of over 50 people volunteered, working for over 4 years. And lasting benefits of that include a beautiful little park by the courthouse, a historic photo display in the courthouse, and a historic branch display at the fairgrounds. We have had for quite a few years a challenge at Thornton, a safety challenge with the intersection there. And due to the excellent relationship we developed with the Idaho Highway Department, we've been successful in moving that interchange up on the schedule to be completed. The property acquisition is taking place right now. We've established an RPO, that stands for Rural Planning Organization, first in the state, to help with the planning for growth and transportation. We've modernized and developed many county properties, including the parking lot between the courthouse and the city hall. We've 2 new county buildings in Sugar City, and other the Ace Hardware exists now on Main Street on a former county plot. All of this is happening, and many other things. We can't list in 3 minutes all that's going on, and it's good, but it's happening because of, not just because the commissioners or other elected officials, but because of you. We have wonderful volunteers on boards, commissions, planning and zoning, 4-H volunteers, so many others. Going to be modest for just a moment. I was at council to do this, but in September last year, I was selected as the outstanding county commissioner in the state of Idaho by a vote of county commissioners across the state. And this is thanks to this team of county people I mentioned, Commissioner Weber, Commissioner Smith, elected officials, and our great county employees. And I thank them for that and share that honor with them.
They want me to use this mic because they think I'm going to be soft-spoken. I'm not sure that's true. Anyway, I'm a native Idahoan. I've lived here in Madison County for the past 35 years. I've raised my family here. I'm married to Cleve Bagley. We have 7 children and 15 grandchildren. The highlight of my year is Grammy Camp. I love that. And I also enjoy serving in various church responsibilities in the Centennial Committee and also as a merit badge counselor. For the past 10 years, I've been working in the clerk's office as an elections clerk and accounts receivable clerk. My position has given me the privilege of establishing a good working relationship with other offices in the county. These positions have provided me with the opportunity to operate the Computer Arts Financial Program, which is similar to the Computer Arts property program being used by the assessor's office currently. If I'm elected, most importantly, I will treat people with respect and kindness. Furthermore, I'll ensure that the citizens who have paid taxes throughout their lives can register for the circuit breaker, saving them having to pay a full assessment, as they are now on a limited income. Additionally, when property changes hands, I'll notify new property owners of the opportunity to receive the homeowner's exemption, and this will relieve these new property owners and homeowners of additional taxes. These are 2 items that will greatly benefit this community. As many of you know, the Assessor's Office has been under review by the State Tax Commission. The report listed several items that was out of compliance with state statutes. As a result, they will provide training and then will be monitoring the progress over the next 5 years. With the Tax Commission offering to do this help in that office, I feel that this is a good time, a perfect time to change leadership in the assessor's office. I look forward to serving Madison County as your next assessor. Thank you for your time.
My name is Sean Boice. Lived in Madison County since 1975. Graduated from all the schools here. After graduating, I served a 2-year mission for my church.
interning, continued my education through Riggs College in landscape management. In 1993, my wife and I, my wife being Candy, were married, and we, at that time, started our adventure as entrepreneurs in the landscape industry and construction industry. In the spring of 2014, after thriving in our business for the last 21 years, we ended up selling it. We have 4 kids, 2 boys, 2 girls. Our family is very passionate about sports, baseball being one of them, and fast-pitch softball, where our kids play on Madison teams. We also are very passionate about the outdoors, camping and especially fly fishing. In turn, fly fishing and camping has taken us to a lot of beautiful places, one of them being right here where we live. It's amazing how it all directs back to Madison County. It's a good county. I feel it's important to contribute into our community. The public has given us a lot in our business, has supported us, and so in turn, we feel it's very important and crucial to give back to our community. Some of the areas that I've contributed is all-star Little League baseball coach and coach for a few years. I've been on the board of the Madison Baseball Association and also have supported the 4-H livestock program. I've seen over the years, through my experience, many areas in the assessor's office that needs improvement. It has been stated in the last debate by our current assessor that the county is not out of compliance with the state. We can sugarcoat it as much as we want, but I read the report. We are out of compliance in areas. When elected, I plan on making sure that all these properties are assessed fairly and consistently by utilizing the land schedules developed from the market data. Work closely with the building departments, both city and county, and as they issue their final reports, we will assess those properties in a timely manner. In doing these things, I will be a great assessor for this county. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Brent Saurey. I'm currently serving as County Assessor. This year will be the 16th year of service. I grew up in Hibbard and went to Madison schools, graduated from Madison High School, then served a 2-year mission to Korea. Attended Riggs College after that, graduated with an associate degree. Then life happened and got married. My wife and I have been married for 35 years. We have 6 children, 10 grandchildren. And recently I graduated from BYU, Idaho with a degree in accounting. I'd like everyone to know that the County Assessor's Office is in compliance with all the state statutes and regulatory requirements. You could talk to the State Tax Commission and they would tell you that. The investigation they did was brought on by a former employee who was not happy. So there are no sanctions or penalties. The Tax Commission does have 3 procedural recommendations. A market-based local cost modifier. We are already doing this, but it's a different method. They want us to change the method. And then they say to use a market-based depreciation schedule for farm buildings and residential outbuildings. Market-based is a bit hard to do. We don't receive hardly any sales of farm buildings standalone or outbuildings of a residential nature. Usually things sell together with the farm or with the house. So, without sales to base our assessments on, we use effective age and a depreciation schedule that's in the Marshall Swift cost manual. Number 3, use a market-based land table. We have been using those since about 2007. We were in the process of updating those when this recommendation came out. As far as what to improve upon, I plan to stay the course and fine-tune what we are currently doing. And I believe we are taxing, well, not taxing, that's a function of the budgets and the levies, but we place the value on all the property. That's what I will continue to do, and I believe we do it fairly. I have a well-trained staff, and I appreciate them, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you all very much. We're going to move Mike down there so you can actually see him when you're talking to the audience. Sid Summers, who's also a candidate for County Assessor, was not able to be here. He's provided us with a written statement that I'm going to read. My name is Sid Summers. I'm a lifelong resident of Madison County. I am married to the same wonderful woman that I started my life with. We have 4 children, 14 grandchildren, which all mean the world to me. I have over 40 years in the management field, which includes earning the platinum level in customer relations management, which would be a great advantage as your assessor in Madison County. Also specialized training in job organization, dispatch, and financial evaluation. This is just some of the experience I have that would be a great benefit as your assessor. I've been asked many times what possessed you to run for assessor. I have spent many sleepless nights thinking about this. Here is where I'm coming from. Many years ago, when our children were little, I worried about them 24/7, as all people do. I kept telling myself, once they grow up, graduate, find a partner, and get married, all my worries will be over. Man, was I dreaming. Nothing was ever farther from the truth. In fact, my worries doubled when they got married, thinking how in the world they will ever survive under the conditions we have to live in. Then as the grandchildren came, the worries grew and grew. It didn't take me long to realize that I would never stop worrying about them. I found more and more that I felt forever grateful to all the people in my life that helped make my children and their families' life easier and better. Then in one of my many sleepless nights, I was pondering this decision. It came to me clear as day. Every family in Madison County, whether young or old, has someone that worries about them as I did about my family. That is why I decided to run for assessor. The current assessor's office has a lot of problems, most of which are a direct result of poor organization and poor management. The office has good people, but lacks leadership. Brent Saurey is a good man and is probably very good at CPA-related items, but just not good at solving problems and managing people. We have many problems in the assessor's office now. I can fix those problems. I can make a difference in people's lives. I can be there for the people in an open, honest, and fair way. Done by correcting one of the big problems we have now, and that is to make sure all pay their fair share. Nothing more, nothing less, which will make less for the rest of us to pay in the long run. The procedure to solve a problem is very easy. The hard part is identifying problems and implementing the correct changes that will get the long-term results needed. At that point, it is critical that constant monitoring be done to make sure changes stay in place as outlined. I promise as Madison County Assessor to be out in the county, helping appraise and to meet with the landowners and to ensure correct and fair values are made to properties to remain in compliance with state code. I love working with people. I feel like I can make a difference in people's lives by making certain that the assessor's office is managed properly and that all responsibilities are done correctly, including making sure physical property inspections are being done to meet the 5-year cycle set by Idaho code. implementing ways to identify new construction such as homes, apartment complexes, etc., and making sure this is added to the tax roll within the correct time limit. Making sure the out-of-town and out-of-state construction companies pay the personal property taxes due on the equipment they use in the county for their projects. This is just a few ways that I feel I will be able to help save people money on their taxes over time. This is why I would like to be your assessor. I promise you that the high standards I hold myself to as a person are the same ones that I'll insist on as your assessor. I promise I will be honest, fair, and consistent with everybody. I will make every effort to be 100% correct. It's important to me that I gain and keep your confidence. I promise I will always have my door open to be the most transparent office. I invite you that if you ever have a question, comment, or concern to come in and see me when we can get it resolved. So we can get it resolved. If no problems, just come in and introduce yourself, sit down, and let's get acquainted. It's important to me for you to know that the assessor and the people in that office are here for you, not you here for them. My goal is to make it as easy as possible for you to do business there. Thank you so much. I might be nuts, but this is something that I must do. I know it's going to take a lot of work. I will need some help for sure, but all I can do is give my best effort and leave the rest in the hands of the powers to be. Any questions, comments, or suggestions, contact me at sidsummers4assessor@yahoo.com. I would appreciate your support and vote in the upcoming election. I know that was probably a little long, but since Mr. Summers isn't going to be here to answer the rest of the questions, it seemed appropriate to read in the entire statement. Our first question is for the candidates running for assessor, and since we came down this way, we'll go back up this way. What educational and professional experience prepares you for serving as assessor, and how has your professional and educational experience met that requirement?
When I started as county assessor, it was all on-the-job training and learning. Since that time, but earning the degree in accounting, I believe that's a valuable tool to help understand commercial appraisal especially. We have to look at income, capitalize that to come to a value, and otherwise the state offers training classes every year. There's a summer school and a winter school. All certified appraisers are required to have 16 hours of annual training, or in a 2-year period have 32 hours. So at the training, you learn a lot of the duties, you learn a lot of the procedures and techniques of appraisal. I feel like I've got that experience and the knowledge that will make me a good candidate.
The experience I feel that will help me be a great assessor for Madison County will be the last 21 years of my life I've dedicated to our business. We started in 1993. We started with 1 employee and got as high as 17 employees. At the point of 17 employees, you figure out real fast how to budget, to meet payroll, to pay your bills. You understand and learn real fast organizational skills to be able to get jobs done and clients happy. You learn real fast what customer service is, because if you don't understand what customer service is, you don't get jobs. We ended up doing construction for about 15 years of our career, and through those 15 years of doing construction, we learned what values are in the properties, and these areas I feel will help me be a great Madison County assessor in Canada.
I believe my qualifications are that I have been an elections clerk for the past 10 years. I know about deadlines. Those deadlines are everything. You follow those deadlines, they're set by state statutes. And that's exactly what has to happen in the assessor's office. There's deadlines that must be met. I believe that my other qualifications are that I I'm familiar with the computer arts program that's currently being used. I've been working with that program in the assessor, or in the clerk's office in financial, which will be similar. The other qualification I think I have is that I have a great working relationship with the treasurer's office and with the GIS department. Those departments are going to be vital, and those relationships are going to be vital in being successful in the assessor's office. Thank you.
This is a written question that was submitted to us. Mr. Horikami, you stated that the county budget needs to be cut and a savings plan to be put in place. If you were wanting to cut the budget, please tell us specifically which departments you were planning on cutting and what effects it will have on the citizens of Madison County.
I'm not really planning on cutting a department out. I don't think we need to fire anybody. But I do think we can cut costs a little bit here, a little bit there. That adds up quite a bit to cover what we really need to be doing, which is protecting our citizens' rights. I have a plan that involves what I would like to call a citizen audit, where the citizens of Madison County have the ability to look at our budget, look at what we're doing, and any proposal that they make that saves the county money, we would give that citizen 10% of that savings. The remaining 90% is then used to further and help the county, and I think that would save a lot of money, and it would also put the responsibility in citizens' hands to take a look at their government, see how it works, and do the best that they can to ultimately make our county more efficient.
Mr. Ricks, if you'd like to take a minute to respond. I asked Mr. Horikami a question. If you want to respond, you're welcome to. Okay. This question is for all of the candidates, and I think we'll start at that end and work back this way. What are you going to do to improve the transparency of government?
Right now, I think the county commissioner meetings, we have usually one large meeting on a Monday, and it's during the day. It's kind of detrimental for most folks to be able to go and see what's happening. I think that if we change that up and had 3 or 4 meetings, say every Monday night from 4 to 6, 5 to 7, whatever it might be, we can cut that up, and that way people can come to the meetings after work, and we have a little bit more public involvement. Also, I'd like to see the different agendas published in the newspaper, and decisions that the county commissioners make. I think they should state not just yes or no, but explain why they made that decision. That way they can be held accountable to those who disagree with them in future elections. And then lastly, I think that the county meetings could be recorded, which would then allow for, instead of just, these are the minutes of what happened, this is what actually happened. And then there's no disagreement on that.
I believe it's an excellent question. Our meetings are transparent. Our government is transparent. We beg, encourage, invite people to be involved, and we do have high involvement. Not always in the meetings themselves, but we have a great number of volunteers who are involved in county government. The planning and zoning, airport board, golf board, 4-H, you mentioned 4-H, Sean. We have so many areas of county government that involve people. And I think that Charles has some good points. We can certainly look at some of these things. Of course, the one meeting a month is required to be on the second Monday by statute. But there are things we can look at to improve that. As far as transparency is concerned, our government is very transparent. We have no secrets. There aren't any secrets that I know about. There are, and they're secrets from me.
In the assessor's office, well educated in that process, and explaining that to someone who is upset about their appraisal is going to be so important. I myself, when my taxes were raised, went in and asked that question, and the question could not be answered. The folder was not open to me. I believe that folder needs to be open to them so that they understand how the appraisal was made and how the assessment was made. I think that's going to be one of my greatest goals, is to be able to explain that to someone and work with them. I think there's been an increased number of BOEs, Board of Equalizations, these past few years, and I'd like to see those decreased through cooperation with the taxpayer.
The way I would solve this issue that is ongoing in the assessor's office is I feel an open door policy is very crucial in this situation, to where, as Sue said, that it is, I call them customers, but as citizens of Madison County come in and have questions, the files will be open. My door, my office door will be open. I believe educating our citizens as they come in is very crucial, because I, in turn, through my history, I've had questions that haven't been answered. I'm going to be in a position where I won't know all the answers. I won't have all the solid answers that customer or his citizens need. But as I will figure out the problem, know the problem, and get back with you in time speed. Thank you.
In the assessor's office, nearly everything we do is public record, and I don't know what happened that caused problems with my competitors, but if you want to look at a file, they're on the shelf, we'll pull them out and look at them, show it to anybody. The first Monday of June, we send out an assessment notice that tells what the current property value is, and that gives everybody the opportunity to come talk to us if they don't think the assessment is right. It's supposed to be based on sales, and that's what we use. If they have sales that show a different value, that's their prerogative. If they can prove that it should be a lower value, they can talk to us or appeal it to the Board of County Commissioners as they sit as the Board of Equalization. Anyway, everything in our office is open to the public. Thank you.
Thank you. I think this next question relates more directly to the candidates for county commissioner, but any of the candidates for the assessor's office are welcome to respond as well. Can you describe your participation in Vision Madison and your perception of its role in county planning? Yeah, go ahead.
Envision Madison has widespread grassroots support. The plan is to involve people in planning for the next generation of growth in Madison County. I haven't been directly involved in the management of it, but I do support it. The county did make a modest cash contribution to Envision Madison. I believe, if I understand it correctly, it's in the process now. They have hired a consultant who's analyzing the data. This will be fed back. It'll be decision will be made by our own people. The consultants will not make decisions or impose statutes or rules. This will be done by our own citizens. Any recommendations, any plans that come out of Envision Madison will be developed by you.
In regards to Vision Madison, I would say, in addition to widespread grassroots support, it also has widespread pressure, lack of support. A lot of people are against it, myself included. What I see it actually being is a group that's coming together to create a plan for personal people who have personal property, and they should be able to do what they want with it. What I like to see, I have been involved. I went to the meetings. It was last fall, and I'm going to them again. I was going to go to the one right now, but I'm going to go tomorrow night because I'm here. What I would like to see is the county not support that, because I don't think the majority of citizens in the county actually do support that. And so, instead of going outside of the county, finding somebody to plan this for us, I think we can plan it ourselves.
I think that Envision Madison was people's dreams for what the county or what the community could be. And I appreciate the time that people have put into that. I don't know details. I can't comment on that. Thank you.
Envision Madison, as Kimber brought up, is a good way for the community to try to envision what's going to happen in the future. I myself am on this board through the Baseball Association. There's a great need for baseball fields, period. The last 2 years as Madison Baseball Board, we have found areas, we found ground, we have incorporated the school district and the city of Rexburg and incorporated them together and got this ground bought, purchased. We have a fields design, and we just got great news in the in this year's budget, this upcoming year. We have $1.4 million in the budget over the next 2 years for Envision Madison and the baseball program, and we sure appreciate that. Thank you.
Every night before I go to bed or go to sleep, I envision Madison County. I believe it's a tool to look forward to find out if you don't have a plan, the county could end up in serious problems down the road. Sewer systems, water supply, it all has to be planned for. And if our community is growing, we need to, that's one of the purposes of Envision Madison. And county budgets, if any county budget money goes toward Envision Madison, and if it's part of the building infrastructure, we have to have our budgets funded as fully as we can.
Are there any questions from the audience? We've got time for maybe one or two more. And if nobody has any.
Questions?
Yeah.
I got a question for the assessors. Why in the world would you want to be involved with government?
And the question is, I'll repeat it, why would you want to be involved with government? And I'll go ahead and ask that.
I'll just mention one thing in my job that brings gratification or makes me feel good. It's as mentioned before, it's the property tax reduction program for the senior citizens. They retire and they have a fixed income. Their expenses go up every year. This program is a state program that will pay some or all of their property tax. And in the assessor's office, we help them fill out their application. Some of them are in their 90s. They come in every year. We are glad and happy to help them get this application filled out and sent to the state.
Why do I want to be in government? That's a good question. I feel we have a great area. I feel that our government and our county is in need of money that runs that government. And I feel as a assessor, that as I come in and treat people fairly, try to keep our government within our office at a minimal and within budget. I'm there to generate money for our county, for our government, so that we can enjoy the entities that we have within our county. Thank you.
I've been involved in government for the past 10 years with the elections. And I've seen people come in to vote. I've seen elections come and go. One particular election I have in mind was a school bond election. In that election, there was $10 million at stake for the schools. And less than 2,000 people came in and voted on that election. Why do I want to be involved in government? I want people to get out and vote. I want decisions made by the people, for the people. I've had a son serve in the military. I want to defend the Constitution. I think by doing that, you do that by living the laws of the land and by defending the laws of the land. And also by serving in your community. Thank you.
Can we answer that too?
Yes.
I think it's interesting and important for us to answer that question as well. I want to be involved in government for two major reasons. One, I'm going to be a government high school teacher. I think being involved would give me some credibility to the students, allow them to believe that I have experience here, and that what I'm saying is actually applicable to their lives. I want to educate our youth. I want them to come here and be involved. I want them to vote. And I think that can best be done through the education system, through educating them. Because as you see here, we have 38 people here today. 38. Okay, we should have this filled. Our state and local government is a lot more important than most people realize. It affects our lives more directly, more consistently than the federal government. As much as I wish government didn't affect our lives at all, it does. And so I think that the education of our youth is very important, and that through my teaching, hopefully here at Madison High, and maybe at Sugar, and Gunnery, wherever I'm able to get a job around here, that I can encourage those youth to come out and vote.
Well, I'm not going to be a teacher, but this is going to sound a little corny, but I love you guys. I love service. And are we ready for closing statements? I can make mine now. Is that what's next?
Okay, we'll have one more question, so go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'll save the rest for the closing statement.
I went to the Envision Madison meetings last fall, and I was concerned about all the green space, new highways that they mentioned. And you say no regulations or enforcement comes from the Envision Madison, only what the people decide. How do you avoid stepping on property rights, individual property rights? Envision Madison is more than just planning for utilities in the future. It's property usage and stepping on their rights.
So the question is, how does the county avoid infringing on property rights as it does its planning and as it relates to Envision Madison?
That Madison County has never, ever taken action under eminent domain. Communities throughout the nation have planned for roads and other things, and normally property acquired for those things, that acquisition is accomplished through arm's length transaction. I can't imagine as a county commissioner that I would ever invoke eminent domain in the name of Madison County. So those transactions would be reached as an arm's length transaction between
Charles, if you'd like to address that, you're welcome to.
Well, I can promise that under my leadership as a county commissioner, there will be absolutely zero infringement on property rights, because I do not support Envision Madison. It was stated earlier that it's developing a plan for our county. Well, I think our county already has a plan. I think the Planning and Zoning Committee put that together. And deviating from a plan that's here for a plan that another company from another state put together isn't, I think, what's best for Madison County. And I think it's kind of funny that I'm the only one up here who actually disagrees with it. Sean, right? Sean talked about how they've got some property that they bought for baseball fields. You know, that's before Envision Madison, I think. We did that, not Envision Madison. The people of Madison County came together and solved their own problem. We don't need to go out of state for that. We already have a plan, and I can promise you this, there will be discussion in that domain with me as county commissioner.
Okay, 1 minute for closing statements. Let's start here with Mr. Saurey.
Because of my experience and working knowledge of the assessor's office and the fact that we are in compliance, I feel that I am the best candidate for the job. I'd like to keep my job, so I'd ask you for your support and your vote on May 20th.
As Madison County Assessor, I will bring us back into compliance with the Idaho State Tax Commission. I read the report this morning, actually. We are out of compliance. I will bring us back into compliance when elected. I will have an open door policy. I feel that's crucial, and I've told in the last debate, and possibly cell phone, to where I am constantly available to the citizens of Madison County. I will be fair in all assessments. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do, I will be fair and consistent in all assessments. I will have transparency. The records are available to you and the people that aren't here and everyone in Madison County. I will assess all new construction so that spreads the tax burden throughout all citizens of Madison County. Thank you.
If elected, I will be in the office daily. I will be involved in the appraisals of the property. I will know how those appraisals are reached. If you have questions, I will be open to those questions. If there's an adjustment that needs to be made, I'm open to that. We can discuss that and hopefully come to terms with each other. I believe there's a compromise to be made. I will serve you to the best of my ability. I believe in this county. I believe in the citizens of this county. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks again for being here, to the Chamber for giving us this opportunity. I'm looking back on a lifetime of service to this community. I've worked, these are all volunteer things. I've worked in economic development. I've served on the Board of Chamber of Commerce, the Idaho State Library Board, Longville Power Administration, Citizens Advisory Council, Board of Citizens for Decency, Upper Valley Community Health, United Families of Idaho, founding board member, Kiwanis, and others. I could go on. Today I focus on one area of service. I am your county commissioner. We have a great county. We have a strong and effective team of elected officials serving this county. And I invite you in just a little bit less than 3 weeks on May 20th to vote for me and John Weber to continue that team and that effectiveness. Thank you.
First off, I would like to thank you all for being here. Even though my wife isn't here, I'd also like to thank her. She was such a support, and she really, really wanted to be here. She had everything she had to do. I really think that we can have something better than an open door policy. I think we can have an out of the door policy. I think that instead of you coming to us with questions, we've explained things sufficiently that there are no questions. I think that if you have to go and read regulation, that it's not 30, 40 pages long for one bill, that it's instead, a couple sentences and you know what it means, you know what it says. You don't need 30 or 40 pages of confusing political language to understand what the government is expecting. And honestly, I don't think the government should expect anything from you. I think you should be expecting from the government or protection in your freedom. And so, just on that, I would like to say thank you all for coming here. Vote Charles Horikami for County Commissioner. I will represent you.
Thank you all very much. I said it at the beginning that we appreciate your time and your service. Can we give the candidate? Thank you for being here. Our next forum is next week, May the 7th, same time, 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. It will be the candidates for the Idaho legislature. That's our state senator and our 2 state house positions. It will be next week. We will be at the Romance Theater, not here, at the Romance Theater downtown. Thank you very much.